Okay, those are more trends. 105, those are the leads for NDA, 58 for the RJD. So this is just the first. We're at 8:45 now, and this is the first, less than 1 hour of counting. So let's see. That's what we have, 105 for the NDA for the time being. Okay, let's welcome in Siddhartha Khemka into the conversation this Friday morning. Siddhartha, great to have you in. We'll talk Bihar and politics and all of that in a bit. But I want to first start with earnings. And the one number that really caught my eye yesterday was Bharat Dynamics. It was a dynamite of a performance, just the way, because with all these companies, these defense companies, the order book is never a problem. And Bharat Dynamics is right at the forefront of almost every single missile program in this country, right? It's always about the pace of execution, margins, etc. What do you think of this one?
Hi, good morning. Yes, I think such a lovely day to start the day. A lot of earnings last few days and superb execution by Bharat Dynamics. I think, as you rightly said, especially in the defense segment, the order book is not a concern. What is of concern is the supply chain, is the entire chain of the suppliers also working in tandem. So I think that easing of supply chain issues that resulted in sharp execution ramp up. So I think that has been a pretty good point for Bharat Dynamics. Some margins were affected because of the project mix change during the quarter, but again, good order inflows from inward anti-tank missiles. Middle is also expected to benefit from the emergency procurement of the QRSRM, which is the surface-to-air missiles. Plus the follow-on orders from HAL and all. So order book continues to do well. Execution now picking up, supply chain easing out. We believe that the growth will now pick up. So we are forecasting a revenue growth of 35%, margins easing off, leading to a 51% PAT CAGR over the next 2-3 years. Stock definitely trades at a PE of 40 times, but with a 50% earnings growth, we believe less than one peg, there is definitely a lot of room for upside given the current global geopolitical environment, a lot of demands, and especially Bharat Dynamics leadership and strong presence in the missile segment, which is a key for India's defense. So we have a very positive view on Bharat
Dynamics. I just want to add here for the benefit of our viewers, aside of the earnings, which are like rock solid, they've also announced another order win, and it's a big one, 2,000 crore rupee order for the Invar anti-tank missiles. So one stock perhaps to keep in mind, folks.
Well, I think lots of stuff, right? Lots and lots of earnings in that sense. And of course, how can we not have secondary market action, which is, listing of Pine Labs is also today. So that is something which we will track as we go on as well. Just if you will, Siddharth, come in on some of the other earnings which have been coming through. Muthoot Finance is something we can talk about, right? All-time highs. Stock's been consolidating last 3 months, but phenomenal numbers. And I was looking at the Morgan note this morning. They're using superlative terms to describe the numbers. Rare, beat, XYZ. Perhaps one of the big ones. What do you make of it?
Definitely, Prashant. Good morning. I think stellar number that we have also used, stellar revenue growth, especially in the gold loans, and we have seen margin expansion that has also lifted earnings. So continues to report strong growth, definitely aided by the sharp bump up in the gold prices, and the management has raised the gold loan guidance from about 15% to now 30 to 35%. That's a huge bump up in the guidance and the growth. What we are forecasting, we are projecting a growth of almost 40%. So even higher than what the management is doing. So pretty strong growth, margins pretty strong, market leader. I think one space in NBFCs which continues to show consistent growth, and even I think the macros are helping. So sector tailwinds are in favor. Valuations, if you look at price to book, I think they will trade at a premium valuation. But I think with the growth, one can definitely justify. We have seen the kind of ROEs, 5 to 6% ROEs of almost ROEs of 26% next year. I think the price to book of about the 3 times, 4 times, I think is justified. One can also look at a PE ratio with this kind of high growth, the EPS growth of this year is of about 66%. PE is of just about 15, 16 times on a one-year forward basis. So I think definitely a lot of room for upside in Muthoot Finance, even at current levels.
Okay, so that get ready, strap up. I need to do an IPO rapid fire with you because it's like such a hot market, right? So very quickly, Lenskart, 400 is the price.
It's a long-term bet. I would still wait for a few quarters of delivery and then take a call.
Okay. What about Grow? It's growing towards that milestone of 1 lakh crore rupees in market capitalization. Has had a phenomenal last couple of days.
So we were the investment bankers for the IPO. We are very positive on the entire capital market theme. So in a way, positive on the space sector.
Okay. And Pine Labs. Again, the question is going to be about pricing. They've just turned profit-making. Pine Labs, okay, we've got the numbers as well. So the good thing is that at least in the first quarter, this company is now profit-making. It has great pedigree. It's got the who's who of the private equity world backing it. But yeah, I mean, the business model, margin, sustainability, and the price at which this is coming.
So positive view on Pine Labs, we believe the fintech space is doing well. They have created their niche. They have a global presence as well. And pretty good, decent business model financials. I think valuations are comfortable if one can hold for the next few years. This is a space which will do very well.
You know, sticking with that recent listings, new IPOs, etc., LG Electronics reported numbers. You know, a lot of people were, I mean, and they left value on the table in that sense. What do you make of it at these levels? Not done very well since listing, though.
So yeah, Prashant, I think if you look at the entire consumer durables, especially the IT sector, that's not done that well post-monsoon. Things were expected to be better. Even the GST rate cut was supposed to help them. But across the space, be it Voltas, LG Electronics, Amber, we are not seeing the kind of numbers. And big disappointment, especially in the form of the margins, that has contracted operating margins by 350 basis points. That is a big disappointment. But I think what works in favor of LG is the market share gains that they are doing across segments. Revenue has been in line, but again, that margins and EBITDA decline of about 28% YoY, that is a big disappointment. I think post-listing now, the stock will consolidate. The discount to the other peers, which you were talking about, that was left on the table at the time of IPO, that has narrowed down. And for here, the stock to move on further, I think the growth in the sector needs to come back now.